In this video, I'm going to show you how to export our composition here as a MP4 format. Before, we were doing a QuickTime animation, which is really excellent quality, but we are experiencing, so it seems, having some difficulties with that large file, especially with saving to our flash drives or even uploading to the cloud because it's so large. So let's save this down and more compress, and I'm going to show you how to do that as an MP4. The first thing you want to do is have the composition, the one that we the final one, the three little pigs _ final, and then we have all the comps inside, and this is called nesting. All I did was open up the comps. I selected all of the comps that I see that I needed, and then I dragged it into the timeline. And then from there I just moved them accordingly. I just selected chronological order. And the first one we see is page 1 and 2. I hit the out point, and then I selected this and dragged it over and held down my shift key so it snapped right there. The most important thing is the last comp, your last comp, page 9 or whichever page you do end at for your final. Make sure you're at that end, and see right here, you want this work area to be the exact ending of the last comp, and then a short command for that to move that directly to the last end of the duration. Click on the letter N on your keyboard, and that makes it right there, and that's exactly what you want to see. We don't want all of this to be recorded. Now when you're ready to render, we're going to go to composition, and before we went to add to render queue. We are not going to do that. We're going to go to add to the Adobe Media Encoder queue. The media encoder should pop up. Sometimes it's behind your After Effects, so you just gotta pull down, but it should pop up in the front. Give it some time, and then this is your information. This 8.26 is your MP4, and then just leave this as is at the high bit rate, and then just click here if you want to have it in a different location. I'm going to move mine to the desktop for now, so I'm going to render it to the desktop and then move it into the correct folder where it needs to be after it's done rendering. And I'm going to hit save, and then right now just go click on the start queue, and it can take around 5 minutes or so. It's just depending on how much you have going on, so just be patient with that. And then I'm going to let this render out. Once it's done rendering, it no longer shows up here. You could close out the Media Encoder CC, and then let's take a look at our file. We have it right here, and if we open it up into QuickTime, really has a good quality and plays pretty well as well. And if we look at the actual size of it, we're at a 167.5 MB, which is really good to work with.